Welcome to Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews. I'm Eric, and today I have for you Dad's Hat Pennsylvania Rye Whiskey. As we always do here on the channel, I'm going to give you a nose taste finish review of this whiskey, share a little bit about the value, give you my final thoughts and the score, leave you with a malt musing. But first, a bit about Dad's Hat and this Pennsylvania Rye Whiskey. So, as you can see, I am donning a Philadelphia Phillies hat today, and there's a good reason for that. Because just up the street is where Dad's Hat is distilled in Bristol, Pennsylvania. This rye whiskey, Pennsylvania rye whiskey, is bottled at 90 proof, so 45% ABV. And here's a little bit about it. This is aged a minimum of 6 months in new oak quarter cask barrels. So we can expect a lot of barrel influence on this, considering it's been put in quarter casks. But here's what they got to say. Using only natural local ingredients and the most careful methods, Dad's Hat is made in Pennsylvania, the birthplace of rye whiskey. In honor of that wonderful, optimistic time in America's history when we made things and took care to make them well. All right. Dad's Hat whiskey reflects that same simple, uniquely American personality, better than any other whiskey. Crisp, smooth, delicious. Not lingering or heavy-handed in its finish. Perfect for every occasion. After tasting Dad's Hat, I hope you'll feel the same. So, this is what the bottle looks like. As you can see here, it does have a sticker on it. This was given Craft Whiskey of the Year accolades from Whiskey Advocate magazine. So, those are the specs on the Dad's Hat Pennsylvania Rye. Let's get this in a glass, see what we're working with. All right. So here is the color. Have a nice orange, slightly reddish hue. Looking good. All right, let's nose this. Okay, immediately cherry. Kind of like those candied maraschino cherries you get in the jar, putting cocktails, things like that. Getting some of that. It's also spirity. I mean, you're definitely noticing a lot of that kind of spirit rye note, which is emblematic of the fact that this is quite a young whiskey. Little bit spice. So I'm getting kind of like your somewhat typical rye spices. It's got kind of a herbalness, sharpness, although it's a little hard to distinguish between the sharpness of the rye spice and the sharpness of the youth of this whiskey. Caramel, vanilla, little bit of oakiness. All in around, it's got a pretty complex nose, but again, very spirit forward. Fruity too, definitely fruity. I want to say apple, pear, apple pear kind of thing going on. It's a little strawberry. A lot happening on the nose. All right, let's give this a taste. Cheers. Spicy. Right on the way on their arrival. It's kind of a medium viscosity. It's not very oily, but it's not super thin either. You get a little bit of sweetness of like a vanilla fruitiness and then spice. It's very much rye spice. It's very rye forward. So you're getting kind of a drying, grassy herbalness. Not really the dill you associate with rye spice, but just more of like almost like a parsley. Finish is short to short medium. It's drying. You're kind of left with again, just notes of that slight cherry, slight apple, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of vanilla. Short to medium on the finish. Okay, put a little bit of water on this. This is at 45% ABV. So with water, we'll see what happens here. Still pretty spirity on the nose. Again, that kind of cherry note, a little spicy. Not much difference on the nose with the addition of water, about a teaspoon. So with the addition of water, very similar. Medium delivery, fruity, slight caramel, slight vanilla, and then right away goes into that kind of drying, dark chocolate, slight caramel, rye spice. Again, herbally, grassy rye spice. Not the dill note, not getting the dill note at all in this, which is interesting. But much more, you know, just kind of like a parsley, just kind of sharp, bitter drying. As the finish tails off, kind of like a cloying sweetness, vanilla, a little bit of that dark chocolate and that cherry kind of all mixed together, almost like a cherry cola to some degree. Okay. So once again, this is what you're looking at with the Dad's Hat. Being from a craft distillery, this is not something that I would say is universally available here in the United States, but it's not basically like exclusive either. So, you know, you're going to find this in that $30 to $35 range, which, you know, if you want to support a craft distiller who I think is making a lot of good whiskey, they have a straight rye, they have a couple of ryes finished in a vermouth barrel. They have a couple other ones that are really exciting. You know, I'm really open to like spending a little bit more to support a local craft distiller that's making good spirits. For this one in particular, that $30 range, you know, it's a little bit higher than what you can get some of your other ryes for, and you can get straight ryes, which are at least 3 years old, so they're older than this one. For that about $30 price range, but again, you know, this is a judgment call, so I would say it's a moderate to decent value. So my final thoughts here on the Dad's Hat Rye Whiskey. This is a great introduction to a really exciting craft distiller who's doing a lot of fun stuff with rye whiskey. Personally, like, I think more age on this is only going to make it better. They do have a straight rye, so I'll be definitely excited to try that. But as an introductory rye into the market, I kind of understand why Whiskey Advocate magazine was giving this some good accolades. And, you know, this is not going to be the worst purchase you get. It's a little bit unique. It's got some good complexity, even with its youth. So my final score here on the Dad's Hat Pennsylvania Rye Whiskey is going to be a solid 3 out of 5, which is going to be that I do recommend trying this or grabbing a bottle if you find it at a good price. All right, y'all. So with that, I'm going to send you over to your Malt Musing, and we will catch you next time here on Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews. Cheers, everybody.